Welcome back to Fallout 76. This is, I think, the first video I've done on the channel for this game ever since Nuclear Winter, the Battle Royale mode, came out. I've not played too much of the game, ever. I played like the start, then I left the game, and then I come back and played a little bit, and I keep back and forth and I don't play too much. But this video is visiting the game in 2021, is it worth playing? And in my opinion, I'm going to say yes. That's for new and returning players. You can get this game very, very cheap. If you're on Xbox, it's available through Game Pass. And I would say, I literally just sat down for a little bit today, just played the game, just to see what it felt like. It's an online Fallout game, for those of you that don't know. And when it first came out, there were a lot of issues, and I mean a lot. There were so many performance issues. It never felt right, and I think a small part of that was because that it's the first ever online Fallout game. They've always normally been single player. But the game carried on, and we're now a few years after its release. The developers have picked up drastically and made a lot of improvements from what I've seen. I can't go into too much detail. I'm not fully experienced. The main reason I'm doing this video is because a few people on the channel asked me to play the game and see what I thought. So that's exactly what I did. I jumped into the game, played for a little bit. It felt nice and smooth. There were actually people on the world map that were doing different objectives and stuff. There's a lot of world events. Even one that makes you stay clear of this blast zone because a nuke comes in. So obviously if you're in the way, you're going to get killed. All I did was literally roamed around, did a couple of mission parts, killed a few enemies. I managed to actually take on a world event, and I got myself a pretty cool gun from it. And just in general, I haven't played too much of this game at all. So for a new player, I would say it's definitely worth at least trying, if you can get it cheap. I think because it's a few years old, it's not going to be worth its original price tag. So I wouldn't go purchasing it directly from the Microsoft store or the PlayStation store or whatever. I would try and pick it up in a sale. Unless you obviously have Game Pass, you can play it completely free. But I wouldn't pay too much money for the game because it's old. Not because it's in a bad state or anything like that. I just recommend paying a cheap price because it's a fairly old game now. But I think new players will enjoy it because I've not been a massive fan of Fallout over the years. I played a lot of Vegas, I played a lot of Fallout 3, completely ignored, and I don't think I've ever actually touched Fallout 4. Then I picked up Fallout 76, and I had a little go at it, wasn't a huge fan. When I loaded up the game, just to sit there, try it, play for a little bit, time just started passing by without me even realising. I was actually thoroughly enjoying myself. It's not really, in my opinion, going to be a game that I would sit there and play too much of solo. I think it would be best played in a group with friends and stuff. But I'd say there's, for a new player, there's a lot to do in the game. There's loads of different quests, and you can move your camp about. You can go, hunting. When I say hunting, I mean you can go, scavenging and that sort of stuff, where you can find, wild animals and stuff. You can kill them and take parts off them. You can find random enemies. You can go through buildings and search all the cabinets and stuff, and you can find loot and stuff in there. You can sell it for caps, and you can buy other stuff, and there's a lot to do within the game, especially for a new player. But returning players, they have very recently done an update that brings in a lot of fan requests. I haven't read too much into it, but I have seen things like you're able to, once you hit level 25, I think it is, you can create a new special sort of class with your, ability cards, if you want to call them that. I saw that, and I also saw that it's now going to be possible for each player to own 2 camps instead of just 1, which I think is quite cool, because you can fast travel to and from, your inventory will share between both, and not only that, but just having that extra accessibility, I think it's a cool thing. And if you're looking to sort out your special loadout, there are 2 that's going to be available once you pass level 25, but you have to visit one of the newly added punch card stations. I'm kind of reading this up as I'm recording this commentary. There's also a new season that's coming to the game, being Season 4. Players team up with Armor Ace and the Power Patrol as they square off against Commissioner Chaos and the Yukon 5 during Season 4, which introduces a new scoreboard, 100 ranks to achieve, and tons of rewards to claim along the way. Alongside all of this as well, an aim assist is going to be added to the game, along with crafting sliders and improvements to melee combat. There will be a considerable expansion to the daily ops with a new game mode, new locations, new enemies, and new rewards. So there's still a lot coming into this game. And I think if you've ever played the game, if you've played a previous Fallout game, even if you just like the look of it, I'd say it's definitely worth just picking up and giving a go. I don't think there's any harm in that because, as I said, big chance you'll be able to get it cheap nowadays. It felt very smooth. I mean, graphically the game doesn't look too great. It feels very, very outdated on the graphics. But as I've always said, graphics are not the most important thing in a game. It's the gameplay, and it did feel fun. It was definitely a breath of fresh air. It felt different for me, and I actually enjoyed my time on the game. So I'm going to recommend for people to pick it up, especially in 2021, as the game's had time to get through all the teething problems, and there's new updates and stuff coming out all the time now. They've got new game modes in there. They've added multiple camps and stuff. There's different options and stuff coming in. They're actually improving combat and things like that. Another thing I'd recommend as well, if you are interested but you're not 100% sure, I would definitely go check out a content creator that covers the game heavily on their YouTube channel, or even watch a couple of Twitch live streams or something, just to kind of get a better idea, because as I said, I'm not too experienced. The main reason I'm doing this video is because I've had several people actually ask me to play the game and see what I think. So my opinion, I did enjoy it. I will be back to play more, not sure when. Hopefully I can get Pete and maybe Lewis as well to come join me. We can just mess around and have a laugh with it. So in 2021, I recommend Fallout 76. I would say it's at least worth trying if you can get it on Game Pass, if you can get it cheap. As I said, I wouldn't pay too much money for it, just based on the fact that it's fairly old. The game was smooth, I enjoyed my time on it, but that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and especially if you have more experience on the game than I do, then I would appreciate if you could share some of your thoughts and stuff, and I will pin a comment if it's going to help out the community. But that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.